Hello, everyone. I am back to discuss the second quarter of the female cycle and how we can support it through oils and supplements. And the first video, we talked about the first quarter, so about day 1 through 7, and it's an average. I'm using these dates as estimates, and you would know best. But if you were to take your cycle and divide it into kind of 4 equal quarters, then maybe your first quarter is going to be anywhere between day one and day one and day, let's say 9, 10, depending on the duration of your cycle. So today we're talking about the second quarter. So that's about day, let's say 7 through 14, somewhere there. So once again, just using those as estimates, and you would know what works best for you. And there's no wrong way to do it. So if you want to do it for the 7 days, that's great. If you want to do it some days, just listening to your body and seeing what it needs, and also being really, really gentle with yourself. And if you forget one day, no big deal. This is about proactive support. So everything you do, every little thing helps. And then if you miss a day, that's not a big deal. So let's talk about that day 7 through 11. That's when our estrogen is climbing, and it's peaking right around day 11. And this is, we're continuing to use our clary sage. So we spoke about those in a first video. Clary sage or clary sage blends are fantastic for this time. I personally use Dragon Thyme. That's a blend that has clary sage and phenolate and marjoram, so it hits a lot of different benefits, and that's what I love about it. I spoke with others, and someone mentioned they use clary sage, and for them, that's what works fantastic. So that's awesome. Finding an oil that works really well for you is really important and part of the journey. And we're also continuing with Endoflex. So we talked about Endoflex for thyroid support. Once again, Endoflex is a blend. If you have others to try, other oils, single oils would be myrrh, myrtle, lemongrass for that thyroid support. So now we're gonna introduce some supplements in here too. We're going to talk about minerals, B vitamins, and omegas. So if you're using Young Living, that would be Mineral Essence for you, Super Bs, and Omega Joys. So minerals are fantastic for our body. Our food is deficient of minerals. Even if we try and eat our best and hit all the groups, we do come up short with minerals, just because our food is not as mineral dense or full of minerals as it used to be. So we're missing out, and our body really thrives when it has all the needed minerals in it. So supplementing with minerals is great. Super Bs, B vitamin complexes are fantastic, and they are oftentimes associated with energy, and Super Bs support adrenals, which is energy comes from adrenals, our small glands on top of our kidneys, and it's fantastic to support them during this time. Omegas, omega J's, this is really, really great nutrients for whole body wellness, but especially for adrenals, as we're talking about them as well. So those are the three that you're going to want to focus and explore. Around day 12, the estrogen is going to drop off sharply in our cycle. So that's when we're stopping with clary sage, because clary sage supports our normal estrogen levels, and we are gonna switch to a progesterone phase in our cycle. So we're stopping on day 12, right around that time. Once again, as we talked, there's no wrong way. If you continue using it, no big deal. If you stop a little earlier or stop a little later, it is not a big, big deal. Like, it's not a big player. Your body recognizes the oils, and that's why we work with natural oils, because our body will just take what it needs, and that's the beauty of working with oils. So right around day 13, we're going to focus on pituitary gland, and pituitary gland is a small gland in our inside our head, around our mind, but it is tied with our endocrine system. And since our female hormone cycle goes hand in hand with our endocrine system, pituitary gland is a great one to support, and we can support it with frankincense. I know it's favorite for a lot, and so pituitary support with frankincense, you can apply it topically right between your eyebrows. You can put it at the base of the skull. You could just inhale frankincense, and that's a great pituitary support. And moving on, we're on day 14. So on day 14, we're continuing with our thyroid support. So either myrrh, myrtle, lemongrass, or endoflex. And thyroid is going to release a hormone, and that's why we're looking to support that. And also on day 14, we're going to have a surge of testosterone. Lots of things happening on day 14. Day 14 is right around our ovulation day. So all of these body processes are working, and we're just looking to support them. We're not looking to control them. We're not looking to do anything other than support our body as it's naturally doing. But there are imbalances in us, and that's what we're trying to support. Give our body what it needs. It will take, and it will just run with it. It knows exactly what to do with it. So as this testosterone surge is released, which is produced by our adrenals, we're going to take the oils that support testosterone, which are goldenrod and Mr. oil. So Mr. is a blend. You could just inhale it. You can rub it same area inside of the soles of the feet or around the ankles, and continuing with those super bees, mineral essence, and omega G's for that period. So a lot happening in that second quarter. What I find really helpful is to just put reminders in my calendar for each of those days. So I remember, when to stop with clary sage, and we're going to be switching. We're going to talk about in the next video about Progestins Plus. So we're switching from clary sage to Pro Plus, and then putting those minerals and super Bs and omegas, if I'm not taking them already, making sure they're on for that week so I can plan accordingly. And also supporting pituitary with frankincense around day 13, and on day 14 continuing to support thyroid with endoflex, and adrenals with minerals and super Bs and omegas, and supporting testosterone with Mr. and goldenrod oils. So that's our second quarter. And then we'll talk about our progesterone phase, our luteal phase, which is the second half of our cycle, and how we can support that naturally with oils and supplements. Thanks.